I am so excited today. I have Jeremy Morris from Vizrt on. He is a demo, evangelist, operator, salesman, a Mr. Everything in the world of TriCaster. Jeremy, thank you so much. Welcome to the show.
Pleasure to be here.
Where are you right now?
I'm actually on stage at my home church in Fayetteville, Georgia. This is Pinecrest. We've been here about a year and a half, and so it's been a blast being a part of this congregation.
Very cool. And
Yeah,
from what I understand, not only are you a new tech evangelist, but you are a new tech TriCaster I keep saying new tech Vizrt TriCaster operator for the church, and that's really wonderful. And I believe you even have some volunteers working the TriCaster right now, don't you?
I do. If Harry will go to camera 2.
And I just want to bring this in, the
kids.
TriCaster, a lot of people think it's very, very complicated, but you can see even kids can use it. And obviously they've been well trained by Jeremy the Guru, but I just wanted to do that little moment because, you know, House of Worship is a key vertical for TriCaster sales. So it's great that you're in there, and thank you so much. I really want to talk about some new products. We've got two levels of products. We've got a new version of the TriCaster Mini S software, and then we've got the Vizion systems with Vizion bundles. We're going to start the show with the Mini S because we're actually breaking information, and I'm not under embargo or anything, but I know it won't be available till the end of February, early March. There's going to be a perpetual version of the software. So you can either rent it for $1,200 a year or buy it outright for $24.99. And then there's also a bundle that's going to include the mini control surface at $44.95. And then we've even got a ability to have you have the software subscription with a Liberty X workstation. We're going to talk about a little bit more, which could be also be sold with the perpetual version and the bundle. So let's talk about this Mini S software a little bit, because for years since you've come on the show, you and I have been talking about when are they going to finally have this software being able to run as software without having to buy customized hardware. That time is now, my friend. Take it away.
So even back in the new tech days, we were always heavily on the software, but we needed dedicated hardware to make all that function happen. But when we got acquired by Vizrt about 5 years ago, things started to shift a little bit, not only just internally from the company, but also the technology that we were dealing with. The baseband hardware type stuff was able to migrate up to the new flavors of graphics cards, GPU, CPU processing, and things like that. So now we became truly a software-defined video storytelling company, leveraging all the cool stuff we've done in the past. Being more software driven means we're more agile, we're able to do updates, we're able to have a lot more fancy stuff happen, a lot easier to deploy. And so now the hardware has caught up to what we've been trying to do on the software side for so long. So yes, now the Mini S is available, and it's pretty fun to see what people are already doing with it.
And it's really a full version of the Mini software, correct? If you were to get a Mini 4K or a Mini X, you'd be getting the same software, but you'd have it on the Mini hardware, which is great hardware that runs well, but now you can run it on your own hardware, which we're going to go into some of the advantages of that in a little bit. But let's talk about, I mean, your House of Worship, phenomenal for that. Great for streamers, podcasters, education, corporate video. So many great places where this can get in, and people can now get into the Vizrt TriCaster Mini S production environment for a lot less money. That's, I think, what's so cool about it. You know, $1,200 for a year, or you can just buy it outright for $24.99. That's a pretty sweet price point, if you ask me.
And we're doing it, you know, we're crawling before we're running on this. And so we're introducing the software with some dedicated hardware right now. Some of the support plans will dictate how that's being dealt with. So we do have some minimum requirements that are posted on our website for those that want to source their own hardware to run the Mini S. So we make sure that it's in line with what we need from a horsepower perspective. So we have a good out-of-box experience for the end user. As we're doing that, we're also going back and certifying other types of hardware that's available so you can run this on different types of blade services. We got laptops that we're looking at. We're looking at capture cards. So this is going to be a long process to make sure that everything is going to work the way we want to, but also spread the love, allow for multiple types of uses for the TriCaster Mini S line with this advancement in the certification process on hardware.
Yeah, so I want the guys to bring this up full screen so we can really see that this really checks all the boxes, literally. And the one box that isn't checked, you talked about a little bit, is the original, the initial version of the software is NDI only, but that's intent for original on launch to make support and broader level support easier, we absolutely expect to have capture cards available. And I know that we've worked with you guys, and we've got a little project, Manhattan project going that we'll talk about a little bit more when we talk about the hardware box we had one of our close vendor partners put together for us. But I think what's so cool about this, and I want to go into why I think it's so great, is that the Mini was always a good product, but you are always limited to the platform that was in the Mini. So everything that you see checked here, the Mini could do. But everyone who was really a power user would reach a point in time at some point where they just stacked too many things on top of it, and just the limitations of the machine, the hardware itself became a limitation. Now, if you run into that, you can always buy a bigger, better computer and get over that hump. You're not going to go beyond the specs that are here, but you're able to stack them all on top of each other. And, you know, the other thing is we know you guys have other products, which we're going to talk about a little later, the Vizion software, which is higher end software. So clearly the software spectrum is going to grow, and the S and the Vizion are going to meet at some point in the middle with the same product, different product, whatever. But the future is going to be software that can run on different computers with specialized hardware for I/O. So very cool. Wanted to bring out this little table on support. If we can bring this full screen for people just to see that, you know, this product will have the same support that a Mini would. The hardware details. This is one of these areas where I'm going to say I'm happy and frustrated at the same time. I love that you guys have made certified hardware, and I love that you're not putting the minimum hardware to make the unit work, but you're putting hardware on this list that'll really give you good results. 16 gigs of RAM, a quadro level card, you know, an i7 or stronger. What I am frustrated about is that I would have really loved us to have 10 or 20 computers, and a lot of them being laptops, because let's be honest, I think the product that sells the most in the software space that has the deepest penetration is vMix. Mm-hmm. And those guys run on laptops more often than a desktop. And I think if Viz is going to go after that space, they got to certify a bunch of laptops, but I know you're in the process of doing it. So talk a little bit about that certification process, and that you intend to open it up as you go.
Yeah, that's the roadmap from product management, is looking at specified hardware and making sure that hardware is robust and will handle what we're trying to do in the software space, and also give you the room to grow. We don't want you to max out from the first one you buy. You know, we don't want that limitation. We want to make sure that the specs that are going in the hardware allows for that growth, because the software is going to grow. We've done that for years. And so this allows that growth on the existing platform. We don't want you to limit just from right out of the box. So the certification process is ongoing. There's ways for on the dealer side, especially, you know, you guys have done a great job with that, with some of the stuff that you've brought up, to get that into our engineers. They run it through the bench test, you know, to make sure that it checks all the boxes, to make sure that it is a powerful enough machine to handle what we're going to throw at it, and also what's to come. So that's why that certification process is important. Also from a support standpoint. So when you have a certified piece of hardware, you know that you're going to get that certified level of support coming back if there's an issue. When it's a Frankenstein box DIY, you really have no idea who to point fingers at if something goes wrong, because inevitably it will. And those Franken boxes, I know, because I've built a lot of them myself.
So, you know, speaking of those boxes, we've come up with a box that we're calling the Liberty X. We worked with one of our hardware partners. The specifics and the way that product was designed was, I just said, I want the best possible box for running the TriCaster Mini S software and any other software we sell, be it, you know, Avid or Adobe, or if a guy's got vMix, or if a guy's got, you know, Wirecast, whatever it is, the best possible box. We can't have a retail price higher than $5,000 on it. But I want the best possible box at that price. Now, I know I could have said $2,500, $2,999, and probably gotten something that was certified. But I wanted a box that I knew with confidence that wherever you guys are going over the next 2 years, that box will have the horsepower and the reliability under the hood to get it done and support whatever new features are added, including new hardware. And part of that Manhattan project I talked about is we do have one of our hardware vendors, whose name I'm not going to mention, sending over some cards for you to test, and to also test in our Liberty X box. So we really hope that, I'm going to say, maybe by NAB we'll have that certification, which I think is a reasonable time frame for this project. But I don't want to speak for you guys. That's my goal, not yours. But I just want to let people know that the Mini S is a great software tool. We've got a great hardware box you can run it on that's $5,000. You can get it from us or your local dealers. It's a great product. And then also, it's not intended to compete with the next part of our segment, which is the Vizion stuff, which is like that next step up of boxes. And those are all built on, I believe, HP workstations. So let's talk about the Vizions a little bit. The Vizion has been out since, what, September, October? When did the Vizion first release?
Yeah, so that it was an October timeframe when we made that switch over to the Vizion platform. So that also is that same mindset of being software driven focused first, and then allowing hardware to match what we're trying to do. And so yes, we do have purpose built hardware that's for that. We have partnered with HP in this, and also Matrox on the input cards to build a very robust workstation. Going back, same idea with Mini S, to allow us to grow when the time comes. We have the hardware and we have the support from those OEM manufacturers to do what we need it to do. So that's a great opportunity to step up in the flagship world of TriCaster. So yes, the Vizion is the big workhorse. It's 44 inputs. It has HDR. It has a whole lot of bells and whistles in it that we're finally able to do in the software, and we have the hardware now that can catch up to it.
And now the Vizion, there were actually 5 flavors of the Vizion, but we've really seen that where people's biggest interest is really on the tower with the 8 SDI or the 16 SDI, $35,995 for 8, $37,995 for 16. And then you can add a flex panel, for another 10 grand more. But one of the things I want to talk about on the show right now, and I'm probably going to get in trouble, so this may get edited out because I'm not really sure what the team of Viz and the big guys are going to allow, but there is a promotion for a limited time going on where when you buy a Vizion, you can get it bundled with a flex controller essentially for free. So that $35,995 becomes with a flex controller. The $37,995 goes with the flex controller. So that's real exciting deals. It's for a very limited time, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention those promotions that were going on. So let's talk about the Vizion because it really is, it's the first flagship TriCaster since the T2E was introduced, correct?
Correct. We've had a similar software version called Vector, which has been running in the cloud for the broadcasters for a long, long time. Now we've kind of brought both systems to parity, where we've got the hardware on-prem version as well as the broadcast cloud version of the TriCaster family into one ecosystem. So now you do have all those fancy bells and whistles back to the 44 inputs. Like I said, the HDR, we've got the combo cards where you can do either the 8 or the 16. That's also very cool to see how that configuration can change because I can dynamically adjust what I need to per session from an I/O perspective, 12G, 3G, how many
wait.
how
So
many outs.
time out. I want to go into that a little bit more. So, because that's big, and that's something that a lot of people,
Yes.
broadcast level people have had, but not at this price level. That's been $100,000 gear before that. That means my I/Os can be configured differently for one program than for another. So in a house of worship, if it's Christmas time and I need to pump out a lot more, let's say SDI to more monitors, I can. If it's sports
Correct.
and I want to bring in more cameras because the team made the playoffs, I can change my configuration for those cameras, even to the point that maybe for my regular show I only use 8, and those other 16, those other 8 and the 16, I program based on the show or how I need it. And that's a level of flexibility. That's high-end broadcast level routing built into this product.
Right, and we always have the NDI capabilities.
Yep.
So there's the 10 gig and the 1 gig NIC on it. So I can leverage the NDI plus the onboard baseband. But the flexibility, and it even goes why we have the flex panels. Again, going back to every single operator does a show differently pretty much every time. And then different clients do things different from the client next door. So having that flexibility built into our systems at a much higher level than we have in the past has really allowed this to take off. And even going back to our 1RU server blades for campus distribution and being able to have a TriCaster farm, if you will, on the network of I can pick and choose from a flex panel, whichever TriCaster I want to talk to at that given moment for that broadcast. So we've got the scalability and the hardware now to match what we've been able to do in software.
So I'm going to describe this product as not some prosumer up. I'm going to describe this product as broadcast down. So this could be in a full broadcast, a call letter station. You could be doing this to run a stadium. I could put this in a huge event space. I could put this in a college theater, auditorium, whatever, Broadway show. This has the I/O, the chops, the feature set, the flexibility to really be used for any place where you're using a lot of cameras with a lot of outputs, with a lot of layers, with a lot of graphics, where you need a lot of horsepower and a lot of stability and reliability. And I think that's something that we don't talk about enough, I think, with the TriCaster products in general. You know, you can build your own and roll your own with other people's software that's out there and piece together and run 16 instances of something. But there's something to be said to have an integrated product that's set up for that kind of heavy use and heavy programming. And every show can be set up differently, right? So I don't always have to be using it at that max level, but I can when I want to. And I think that replacing the flagship T2E was a big ask, and replacing it with a product that's really bringing in so much of that vector performance, which has been used in broadcast across the globe, is real important. So talk a little about that. We're going to bring this slide up, and you can just talk about who should be buying this product, my friend.
Of course, coming from the sales side, I want to say everybody.
There you go.
But it it really does allow for that purpose-built application, you know, inside the Vector, or not the Vector, but the Vector was on the cloud side, but the Vizion and what we're able to do with it now in that form factor and at that price point that satisfies a lot into the merge of, you know, combined Pro AV is what we're calling it now in this industry, where you've got a lot of the traditional broadcast technology being utilized in a lot of different ways. And so the whole Pro AV mindset of I have a box that can talk to anybody's anything and be able to switch, do a live event, do a recording, do a town hall from a corporate space. I mean, every single vertical market we're in that we can take advantage of from one centralized platform. And this also allows for that growth potential, like we talked about before. Being a software-driven company, the software is moving forward. Now we have hardware to match where we're going in the software side of it. So there's a whole lot more stuff still yet to come.
Yeah, and I want to stress there's a lot of different configurations. You can get this in a 1RU with or without I/O. You can get it in a tower with no I/O, 8 channels or 16. But the other thing is I don't want to go too deeply into this, but it's OpEx, CapEx. So if you want to buy it, you can buy it perpetually. You have it, and you own it, and it's yours to keep. And, you know, you just run it. Cool. Trying to get the guys to get me on camera. Sorry. You know, you can choose your type of license. Most people are CapEx right now, but a lot of companies and houses of worship and even some schools are saying, I'd rather go OpEx. That means I'm going to do a subscription type license where my cost of entry is going to be much lower. And then I'll have an annual cost to keep it up and support it and running. So we have offerings of both. We're really going to focus on the perpetual because that's what the people we're selling it to are telling us. But whether you want CapEx or OpEx, 1RU or tower, no I/O or I/O, we've got those different flavors available for you. Let's talk a little about the support products, the support levels that come with it, because Vizion is a big full system, obviously has a pretty cool support package opportunity too. And it comes with a year of support, correct?
Right. And one of the cool things about how our partnership is with HP on this is we do have that 3-year warranty on the hardware. So that allows us for more robust on the support side, but then also understanding I got the warm and fuzzies that my box is protected when I'm purchasing it. And you talked about on the subscription side, this is the first time we've kind of gone full tilt with that, offering of both subscription and perpetual on the same chassis, the same platform. And then the support levels kind of go with that. So you can actually fine tune your support plan, what makes the most sense to you as the end user. And so we have the hardware replacement capabilities. We have all the extra tech support. If we're going phone, if we're going live chat, or just, hey, I'm going to do email, or I'm not going to have anything right now, I'm going to add this later, we still give you that flexibility. But the idea is, yes, you want ProTech on this box. It's going to be treated a little bit differently now, the way we've set things up. So you've got more of those warm and fuzzies from an end user's perspective to know I have that back end support going the other way, especially on the hardware side. So the support plans have kind of migrated and changed a little bit. And so we're growing our support to match what we're growing on the product offering.
Very cool. This was a great little overview on the new product line. I know it seems a little bit rushed to get in here, but it was such big news. So to recap, TriCaster Mini S is the TriCaster software available as a subscription or perpetually. The perpetual version will be available end of February, early March. 2 different versions. Bundles available with a control surface, bundles available with our new Liberty X hardware, or you can put it on your hardware of your choice. Look up the certification system. As long as you have the minimum specs, it'll run. But with a certified unit, we know you can get a little bit of results. The Vizion series, starting to sell very well. The Tower with 8 and the Tower with 16 are our biggest sellers. And for a limited time, we're running a promotion where when you buy a TriCaster Vizion 8 or 16 Tower, you get a free Flex controller. And then once again, the Liberty X is certified for Mini S to bring it all the way around. We're really excited. Jeremy, thank you for being on the show today. I always like to give my guests the last word, so take it away. The floor is yours, buddy.
All right, one last thing that we forgot to mention, we talked about the Mini S and the Vizion, is both systems come with Flowix. So Flowix is a very powerful HTML5 based graphics software that I know you guys are running yourselves.
Yep.
And we can take advantage of that now built in with both systems. So the Go package on the Mini S, and then you've got the basic level. And both of those you can grow up inside the Flowix, because there are variations of Flowix if you want to get more advanced with that platform that you can add on later. But both systems come with that out of the gate, so you can get your feet wet and understand the true horsepower that is HTML5 based graphics.
I agree, and I think we were remiss, because Flowix to me is that little like secret sauce that now comes with these products, and we use Flowix and we love it. You know, we basically, the thing that I love about it is anyone with a laptop on the network can be the graphics operator for the show. So they can be sitting in the room next to the TriCaster operator. They could be on the other side of the facility. Doesn't matter. You could be bringing in the graphics from home for all we care. It's HTML5, and all you have to do is attach it. You have your TriCaster recognize the laptop that's running. You can bring them the graphics. Just bring up some random graphic to show them what we can do with it, because all the graphics that we run during our show are running Flowix. So you can learn more about the TriCaster Vizions. You can see down there. Jeremy, thank you very much for being on the show. Very cool that you're doing it from inside the house of worship. If we could cut the camera too and show the boys again, I want to compliment them on doing such a great job running the show.
Here, you go to camera 2.
Here he comes. Here are the guys.
Great
job, guys. Great job running the show. Thank you so much. And I think that's a big thing that we need to talk about, that the TriCaster students can use it, volunteers can use it, experts can use it too. It's a lot easier to be a volunteer or a student using it when you have a guru like Jeremy available to help and teach you how to do it. But either way, there is a ton of learning videos and knowledge and stuff that's online that people who get a TriCaster, be it the Mini S or the Vizion, can learn how to use it themselves or to teach other people. It is a phenomenal, stable product, award-winning product, and an industry standard. Thank you so much for being on the show. So excited about these new bundles. Thank you, buddy.
All right. Thank you. Good to see you.
As always, I want to remind you guys, we have a network of dealers throughout the country who we can refer you to, could help you not only design and purchase your system, but they can come in and train you, set it up, and help you get all the other gear you need. We know a true Vizion system is more than just buying a box, and we've got great dealers who can help you. You can also go to our website and fill out a form. If you fill out that form, we'll get that information over to one of our dealers who'll call you and help you get into the TriCaster Vizion of your choice. Thank you so much to Jeremy for coming on the show. I think we handled a lot of cool stuff. I'm really excited about these new products and promotions with the TriCaster Mini S and the new TriCaster Vizion Flex bundles. Go to our website and check them out today. This is Gary from Videoguys. Peace.
Videoguys is available Monday through Friday. Give us a call at 1-800-323-2325. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram to stay connected with all of our updates. And you can like us on Facebook. Keep an eye out for our live videos, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.